The American Revolution, a war learned in history books and is well known by all Americans. There are 4 stages: incubation, symptomatic, crisis, and convalescence. The stages are best known as the flu model. Stage 1, incubation. The Revolutionary War was a fight between the Kingdom of Great Britain and the 13 American colonies. A major problem that came up in this time was tax given to the colonies. Taxation without representation. The Stamp Act, March 22, 1765. Taxes were put on stamps, also on newspapers and legal documents. Think of it like this: you bought a popsicle every day at the same reasonable price. Out of the blue, bam, taxes. Imagine that, but 10 times worse for the colonies. They felt treated unfair and hated the taxes that was placed on them. Stage 2, symptomatic. The Boston Massacre, March 5th, 1770. There was a new act that placed taxes on tea, glasses, paper, paint, and lead. As expected, people believed that these taxes were a violation of their rights. Due to the outcry, people began to protest, which got the attention of the British soldiers. There was an argument between British officers and few people of the colonies. As the arguments got heated, more and more people started to join. It soon became violent when sticks and snowballs began to throw. British soldiers were sent to maintain order. However, the sight of the soldiers' arms only caused chaos to grow. Eventually, soldiers in the colonies started to shoot. At the end, 3 colonists died immediately, and 2 others died later that night due to wounds. The Boston Tea Party, December 16, 1773. No, the Boston Tea Party was not actually having a literal tea party with royalty. There was tea involved, however, no one drank it besides the fishes, but that's none of my business. The Boston Tea Party was a protest against the upsetting taxes on items such as their beloved tea. It was the American colonists versus the British government. The protest was throwing cargo of tea into the sea from 3 trading ships in Boston Harbor. Some protesters even dressed up as Mohawks. The government could control where people bought their tea and place high taxes. This was called the Tea Act. Crisis, the 3rd stage, and Paul Revere's ride, and the Battle of Lexington and Concord. There was a rumor that the British Army was going to get rid of important American patriots. The colonists kept close eyes on the British Army in order to warn Samuel Adams and John Hancock. When the British Army decided to move, there were 2 messengers sent out. One of them was Paul Revere. The colonies were ready to fight. However, no one expected to be attacked. There was an unfortunate gunshot on the colony side and the British attacked. This was the first shot of the American Revolution, also known as a shot hurled around the world. The Americans ended up fleeing to a different area, gaining more men in the process. They ended up defeating the British Army. The Battle of Bunker Hill, June 17, 1775. The British Army was having trouble controlling people in Boston and decided to go to Bunker's Hill and Breed's Hill. When the Americans heard this, they decided to go to the hills and fight over the territory. Think of it like this: as an older sibling taking something that you really want. To get it back, you may need to fight over it. Battle will take at Breed's Hill, and the American colonies decided to go over there overnight secretly in order to prepare for the battle. When the British found out, they went into immediate battle. The British ended up winning, however lost hundreds of soldiers and many officers as well. However, the Americans still gained hope and courage for the upcoming battles they would face. The Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. A committee of 5 wanted to write a document explaining why they wanted their independence. Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Robert Livingston, Roger Sherman, and Thomas Jefferson were all members of the committee. To them, it was a good idea. However, not everyone agreed to have the Declaration of Independence quite yet. They wanted to wait for the army to get bigger, and they won more battles. America chooses a flag. During the war, America wanted to have a flag which is the classic 13 red stripes and 13 white stripes with 13 stars in a blue area to represent the unity of the American colonies. Battle of Yorktown, October 19, 1781. Over the time, there have been many battles and even alliances with France. France's navy defeated the British Navy and forced them to retreat in the area of York Battle, where they met the American colonies. The British army was surrounded at Yorktown. For 11 days, the American force bombarded the British army, then a white surrendering flag raises above. On October 19, 1781, General Cornwallis signed the British surrenderance. Stage 4. Convalescence. Treaty of Paris, September 3, 1781. This was a treaty that ended the American Revolution, and there was peace between the 13 colonies and Britain. The treaty still took a very long time. It was officially talked about in Paris, France, with John Adams and Benjamin Franklin. And that's the end to the American Revolution.